Okay, so I read the files myself, right? I don't wait for other people to read them. I read the files. And I'm just going to tell you, and I've posted some of what I know. The girl from Hilton Head, South Carolina that accused Trump is telling the truth. She went there 4 times. She went there with lawyers. Her story, she didn't ask for anything. She didn't want a settlement. She didn't want to move forward. She knew. She just wanted it on an FBI record. And I also want to bring it to everyone's attention that Trump owned a modeling agency until 2017 that Barbara Boxer wanted a Senate investigation into because they were illegally bringing underage girls in from other countries, breaking immigration laws to work here in the United States for Trump Modeling Agency and doing work. He also got accused by many of the people that he represented. And if you look at the list of people he represented, he put Melania on there, and some interesting names on there. Paris Hilton, another person who's very much now advocating against child abuse, especially in systems. She was incarcerated in a program in Utah, I believe. Yeah, same place my son was at. Okay, so I there's a lot of overlap with this shit. Like, Donald Trump owned a modeling agency. Jean-Luc Brunel, Gerald Marie, John Casablancas, they were all model agencies. They used the model agency, the Look of the Year contest, to get, there's advertisements for it in there. And that's how they recruited the girls. That's how this girl was recruited because her mother committed a crime and they were blackmailing her mother, and the price was her daughter. Okay, that is how that one played out. That's how that played out. And that's why she was so mad at her daughter, or at her mother, because her mother basically was being blackmailed and by Jeffrey Epstein, and then Jeffrey Epstein was selling her daughter out, and that was the price of it. And every time her mother died under suspicious circumstances, I'm just going to say, I know who the girl is. It didn't take that much research to figure it out. And she was correct in not coming forward because they won't do anything. She understands the statute of limitations on those sexual allegations is over. There isn't anything they're going to do. And all it's going to do is, he sicks people on people. That's also been recorded. Okay. Go look at Trump Modeling Agency from the year 2000 to 2010 in the Epstein file. Read the files. Some of the receipts are in the files, but you can also find a lot of information about T models and Trump models. Mother Jones did a report on it. It's also been highlighted in newspapers throughout that time period in New York, and events that Trump Models was affiliated with, that you would go, holy shit. Pink performed at the Look of the Year contest. Yeah. Remember her song about Trump? Yeah. Anyway, it's not like these people didn't know. The models knew. I would argue that most of the models were probably victims of one or more of these men, because that's how they got the work. The other models said the only way you got the work was that. So, they had to have been victims or they wouldn't have worked. Stands to reason. And then, I think it was John Casablancas married one of them. Okay. And she even said he did it. Okay, so they all did it. They were all part of it. Look into Trump's immigration shit. From his modeling agency, he was bringing in 14-year-old girls from other countries and putting them up in his apartments, and putting like 5-6 girls in one room. And then he didn't pay them. He charged them rent, like exorbitant rent there. So they were like slaves. Go look it up. I did. Have a day.